All right, so taxing unrealized capital gains is now on the table. But before I go any further, I like to be as fair as I can be. This is a pretty popular tweet we're looking at here from Amy Tarkanian, in which she says Janet Yellen just proposed a tax on unrealized capital gains. For those who don't know, what that means is if you buy a stock for $1,000 and it goes up to $5,000, then back to $1,000, you owe taxes on the $4,000 profit that you never made. This concept will literally bankrupt people. Okay, just first off, a small detail. Yellen didn't actually propose it. She just supports the proposal made in Congress. Also, Amy does have the concept down here. This is what a tax on unrealized capital gains would look like. And she says this would literally bankrupt people. Now, yes and no. This is one of those weird situations where government is offering a solution to a problem they created, and their solution will fix the problem while screwing everyone over, but the problem they originally created was going to screw over everyone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Government is both the rock and the hard place. That's the best way to describe it, because this is what you've got. Those massive unrealized capital gains, those multi-billion-dollar stock portfolios that really upset politicians and seem to be of great concern to the likes of Janet Yellen here, those exist to the magnitude they do precisely because of Congress and the Federal Reserve, which Janet Yellen was the chair of. Their stated goal is to keep the value of assets high, meaning the stock market mainly. They want to artificially inflate the stock market, and they've done a bang-up job at that. I mean, it's going to crash either way. But what's great here is Janet Yellen talking to people about the small class of ultra-billionaires that hold so many highly valued assets, and we're going to go after them, which is weird because it was her and her predecessors that kept interest rates low for a decade and a half at this point that is directly responsible for them having that massive amounts of unrealized wealth to begin with. And now they want to pretend like they're on your side and act like, hey, we're going after those people who have a lot of wealth on paper, which you believe somehow makes you not have enough for some reason, but we'll go with it. See, we're the good guys. These people are completely full of it. But so, what happens if this proposal really gains traction and steam? Well, you might see a massive sell-off. I guess that depends on what it actually looks like in its final form, whether or not someone stands to keep more money by selling and paying the capital gains tax and just being done with it, or holding on to the assets and continually paying this unrealized capital gains tax year after year. Which, by the way, I do want to just mention, the proposal actually is for only people who have $1 billion or more in assets, or who made $100 million or more over a 3-year period. So I do just want to mention that. So because people say, oh, this only affects the rich. I see where they're coming with this. Because, yeah, the proposal is designed for just the rich, but that's never the way things actually work out. But regardless, depending on what the numbers are, either way, you're going to have a lot less volume being bought on the stock market, at least for some time until it crashes maybe. And maybe after some time passes and middle class people are buying up stocks at a, quote, discount, then that might rebound. Who knows? But either way, because of what the Fed and Congress have done, or what Congress is now saying they might want to do, the disaster was already put in place to happen regardless. So my worry really is, when it comes down to this unrealized capital gains tax, my worry is that they do the same thing that happened with the income tax, which originally was supposed to be only for the rich. Once government gets used to a new power, hey, we're making money off of money that was never even realized. It's only a matter of time before they lower the bar, then lower the bar even more, then lower the bar even more, until you, with your $50,000 portfolio, are getting letters from the IRS because Whole Foods had a good year and you're sitting on some of their stock and the Fed wants their cut. That's how it's going to happen. So yeah, this is only a tax on the rich, just like the luxury tax in California in the 90s was only a tax on the rich. If anyone remembers, that's how that tax was sold to everyone. This is only going to affect those gold-wearing, yacht-driving rich people. Until the luxury tax was passed, then those rich people stopped buying those things because the cost went up by a significant amount. And all the middle-class people who worked in those industries lost their jobs. And then they were forced to get rid of that tax because it was that much of a disaster. Even California had to say, this did not work out the way we thought it would. Well, this unrealized capital gains tax isn't going to work out the way that Janet Yellen or Congress thinks it will either. But oh well, they just refuse to learn, and we're going to suffer because of them. But that was inevitable anyway. The silver lining in all of this is the more they display their rampant stupidity, the more some people might wake up. And that's never a bad thing. But anyway, that's all for now. Like, subscribe, share the video. It's extremely appreciated, and take it easy.